Greetings and welcome to Moments in the Word. I am your host, Evangelist Glenn Mills. I want to talk to you a little bit about divine overflow. And I've come out here in the country to a pond to kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about. I like to use physical things to give you a spiritual meaning. Now, most of you know if you're going to build a pond, you have to find a low-lying area, and then you put in the banks around it, and then you put in an overflow pipe. Now, right here, if you see where my finger's at, that's the overflow pipe. There's water running into that pipe constantly to keep this pond at a level. Now, that pipe will determine how deep the pond is. In other words, you get the bank, you find out how deep you want it, and that's where you set the height of the pipe. And as long as the water's flowing, it's going that overflow pipe will keep this pond at what we call normal level. Well, this pipe represents us in life. This pond to us would be life. And God gives to every man a measure of faith. That means there's certain things that we can handle on our own, that God gives us the ability to do through the talents and the gifting and the faith that we have. But my friend, there comes a time we have to trust God for the things we cannot do on our own. And believe me, there are going to be times like that. But getting back to this overflow pipe. Now, there are streams and there's runoff and there's rain. Whenever it rains, whenever their streams are flowing, this pipe is going to keep this pond at a normal rate. Now, when it comes to life, things are going to happen. Every day, things are going to happen. Things are going to try your patience. Things are going to try to cause you to worry, to have stress, to have anxiety. Things are going to constantly be coming at us. That's just life. It happens. But the amount of faith that we have allows us to handle the overflow. That means that as long as we can handle it, we're going to keep life at a normal. But what do you do when it's more than you can handle? What happens to this pond when you get a hurricane? Instead of having a half an inch or an inch at the most, you have 3 or 4 or 5 inches of rain. When you have a major storm, when something happens, you'll find out that this overflow pipe here cannot handle that much water. Just like there are times in our life when, even though we've got faith in God, even though we can keep things at a normal situation, there are times it's going to be more than we can bear. It's going to be more than we can stand. The pressure's going to be a little too much. The enemy's going to come in a little too strong, and we're going to have to call out to God. Well, what happens when the overflow will not handle everything that's coming at us? Now, over my back shoulder, right here where my thumb is, there's a low-lying area. We call that a secondary overflow. Now, that area behind me in that corner is only about 2 inches higher than this overflow pipe that you see right here. So what it means is when this pond gets an excessive amount of water that this pipe can't handle, it automatically runs out the overflow. And it will continue to run until it gets the pond back to normal or what this pipe can handle. My friends, that is a beautiful picture of what God does for us. He's what we call our secondary overflow. God has equipped us, just like we see right here, to handle the normal, what comes at us every day, and a lot of things. But when the enemy comes in on a stronger level, when life's just hitting you left and right, when there's crisis, when there's problems that's bigger than you, thank God there's a secondary overflow. Now, if you didn't have this secondary overflow, it would run over the banks of the pond and eventually wash out the banks and destroy the pond altogether. Just like if we didn't have God, this is the reason some people get destroyed when the enemy comes against them. It's because they don't have the secondary overflow that allows the water to run out when it's more than you can handle until it can bring it back to normal. My friends, that's a beautiful picture of the God that we serve. Thank God that He's allowed us to be able to handle so much of the overflow to keep our life at normal. But I want to promise you today, when it's more than you can bear, when the hurricanes of life come in, when the storms are bigger than you can stand, thank God He's got an overflow. He's going to take it off of you. He's going to help you get through it, and He's going to get your life back to normal, and then you can get right back to the beauty of the creation that He's given you. Thank God today that He trusts us, but thank God He can do what we cannot do. Do what you can do on your own with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that He's given you. But my friends, when those times come that it's more than you can bear, Go to the secondary overflow. Call out to God and let Him help you get rid of the excess and get your life back to normal. Thanks for listening. If you know somebody that would enjoy this video, send it on to them. I know it'll be a blessing to them. And there's a lot of other ways you can contact us through Facebook, through Twitter at GMM1776. We also have devotions. If you devotions that we send out by email, contact us through Glenn Mills Ministries at Facebook, and we can share that information with you. God bless you. Have a wonderful day, and thank God He is our divine overflow.